What's up, y'all? Welcome to the channel. I'm Jay.
I'm Jared.
And this is
Russell's React.
So here we go again with the third part of this Ren trilogy, and this one is called Violet's Tale. I'm really not sure where this one's going to go since in the last two videos, our last two characters have left us. Those were definitely intense stories. There's a lot to try and soak in when you're sitting here watching the performance and, you know, trying to soak in all the lyrics too. So I feel like I'm going to have to go back and revisit these at some point to grasp the full meaning. But my brother here, he's got all the info. He's been filling me in. So fill me in on Violet's Tale.
I meant to ask you how you felt about his phone conversation in the middle of the last video. You'd be surprised at how many people don't realize that was part of the performance.
They think it was not part of the
They thought it,
They thought it was random?
Yeah.
I kind of thought it was just because I just assumed that if it's his official video, nothing is by accident.
Right.
I think someone's told me before that Ren is very decisive and deliberate on everything he does.
Very.
So I was taking that with that grain of salt that I assumed it was deliberate. But the conversation was pretty wild. But
yeah,
I still can't get over the fact that
I just
he's 14 years old.
Yeah, I just love that he threw like everybody. It's not music. It is a performance.
And that's one thing that was hard for me to grasp at first. And that's why when I started getting into some of the more normal, you know, what you would call normal. But at the same time,
he does just stand there and sing like normal people.
He does just everything. I mean, his variety is crazy. But make sure y'all check out Ren on his own channel. Subscribe to him. Check all of his content out over there. Like, share, subscribe here. And if you have any suggestions on what we should do next, or just want to drop some info for me, put it in the comments. Let's get it. Excuse me.
Amazing intros.
Oh, I love him. His guitar playing is just phenomenal.
There's a newer guitar too.
London City, far from pretty, 2005. A lady down in Paddington is fighting just to stay alive. Rhythmic beats and bloodstained sheets, our lady weeps, she's tired and frail. To set the scene, we must rewind the hands of time for Violet's Tale.
He actually rewound time.
I don't think I said anything in the other video about the whole
Musically rewound time.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was intentional. That was an intentional representation of rewinding time.
I would not have thought of that.
Yep, I didn't either. First three
some-
times I watched it.
I thought it was some cool guitar licks.
Yep.
But I was going to say something he said in the other video, and I don't remember the whole phrase now, but it was talking about Big Ben.
Yeah.
Something about the clock and Big Ben and time and something like that.
Got clocked just like Big Ben.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I thought that was crazy. That just
Like I
reminded
said,
me of
not anyway, the words matching in the entendres, and you know, he's a wordsmith. That is for sure. again.
So we're back in time right now? Sorry for keep pausing.
Yeah, no, he rewound time, but if you'll notice, he's mic'd up.
Yeah, I did notice that earlier.
So this is, again, another one take. All three of these are one takes, no breaks, so he knows all this, plays it, and then while going through several areas of this building.
So the last two have been in the streets.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's at a building now. So, I mean, it's just amazing that these are one takes.
Yeah.
Yes, from the past.
Violet was a silent girl, grew up with violent starts. Her mother was a drinker and her father was a bastard. Every night he took a tie but never left the room. I'll spare you with the things he did, I'm sure her mother knew. Violet was a silent girl, she moved out at 16. A semi-detached council flat, paid for by a welfare scheme. Packing shelves at Tesco, stacking jars like pickled bricks. She met a boy named Stevie and he was a little prick. Violet was a silent girl and Violet, she fell fast. See, Stevie was a wrong un, but he sure knew how to charm her. Every night he took a tie, but never left the room. History repeats itself, he'd paint her black and blue and dark. She never stood a chance. The devil comes to dance. Violet, why are you always so quiet? On her bedroom door and he's irate. He's been drinking and smoking, he's up late. And he stands by her bedside, she shakes, but her eyes stay shut. You fucking slut, I know you're up. And he pinches her eyelids and folds them up. Violet, why are you lying to me, Violet? She stays silent, things turn violent. That's the sound of his fists when they fall like a crashing pilot. Hit like hailstones, one to the collarbone, full force, full blown, blood's black bone, crack, knick, knack, paddywhack, one to the jaw when the tooth spat, detached fist connects and disconnects a bone. A quick deflect to misdirect the blow, but nonetheless his punches met her throat. Such a mess he's left her bruised and broke. Violet, why you always so silent, Violet? Why you such a little liar, Violet? Do you think I wanna do this, Violet? In character, she stays silent. Well, say something, Violet. Silence. Fucking say something, Violet. Silence.
Who is Violet?
To find out. Gotta go with the flow. Ride the ride.
I don't like the
Stay
flow.
on a roller coaster. We're at that tip top right now, fixing to go over the edge.
I definitely feel like I'm witnessing literal abuse right here. And I don't know who's doing it. I don't know who's getting it.
Her boyfriend. Stevie. The little prick.
Yeah, I did. I
Stevie the prick.
did get that, but I just...
Oh, that's the video. Yeah, it's Stevie the prick beating Violet.
Yeah.
His fist fell like a falling pilot.
I can't stand that.
It's heartbreaking.
Violet, silence. Wait. Say something, Violet. Not one word. She stays quiet. London City, far from pretty, 2005. A lady down in Paddington is fighting just to stay alive. The doctor, in a state of shock, saw something here so very wrong. See, Violet, she was pregnant. Poor Violet, she was 9 months gone. Turning to the doctor, Violet broke her silence and she cried, if I'm to die right here tonight, please let my baby stay alive. The doctor soon regained composure, called the surgeon to come in. As Violet's world turned to black, the curtains closed, the lights went dim. In London City, far from pretty, 2005. A lady down in Paddington just lost the fight to stay alive. A tragedy or miracle. It happened on these very streets. Two twins are lying side by side. A girl named Jenny and a boy named Screech.
Yep. That's the amazingness of his storytelling, because now you get to put all of it together.
And so they were the same age even they were twins.
Yeah. He killed his sister. Violence begat violence.
And they didn't know they were twins?
She died. They went into foster care or whatnot.
Yeah, and they got split up.
No. So yeah.
And they both pretty much, I guess, ended up in the streets, and then he just went the wrong way. And
she apparently was doing the right thing. Apparently she had a good family, and apparently Screech just kind of got that gene, so to speak. But yeah, that's Jenny's tale, Screech's tale,
and then Violet's,
and then
which is the mother of both of them.
There was did you notice the secondary time transition?
Yeah, I did catch on to that.
I'd like to actually hear Ren's take on why or what the story means to him.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I was thinking. Is like, where does the story come from? Is this based on any facts of any rate, or is this something that's fully fictional?
See, I wonder, because there's another song, I want to say it's Genesis, but he calls himself Screech, and it was like, wait a minute. So I don't know how much to put together. That's a hard journey, and the last video is the one that stitches it all together, and your heart drops as soon as he says it's twins. And for me, as soon as he said twins, I knew what he was going, and it was like, oh no.
So what I think what gets me the most is, all right, we sit here and listen to these back to back to back. The Jenny's Tale, according to my YouTube here, was released 6 years ago. Screech's was 5 years ago, and the Violets was 2 years ago.
Right.
So what about people who are listening to this when they drop? You hear this one, you go, okay, that's a crazy story. And a year later, you go, dang.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't
dang,
know.
What happened to that? Dang, well, he got what he deserved.
Right.
And then 3 years down the road, you're just like,
dropping Violet, yeah. So that's a long time come? Yeah, I don't know.
Whoa.
I don't know.
Just imagine experiencing it.
I don't know if they all came out at the same time and just got dropped on YouTube at different times, or I know he sat on music. He sits on a lot of music. Some music he's dropped on, like the Money Games album, which is one of his newer albums, was from 10 years ago. Something he wrote 10 years ago. That kind of thing. So I don't know, but yeah, interesting.
All right, guys. Well, my brother here has suggested that I get my wife in here and do a second retake of these with some of the information I know now.
Hit her with the heart hammer.
Then maybe I can catch on to some other stuff, as I go back and listen to it too. But get her in here and get her first time take on it. So
this one I like the best because it had the change in environments. Went from a room to an echoey hallway to a stairwell that acoustified so beautifully.
Yeah, that was
I don't
nice.
know if acoustified's a word, but anyway. And then went out in the street and had that open air sound, and it was just like so many different levels.
That's one thing I said in the video that he did with Chinchilla, where you was talking about he's in that corridor area or whatever he was in. Is I commented on the natural, because I didn't realize he did these all in like one takes with little editing and stuff like that. So I was just commenting on, someone told me that it was like that, and I was like, well, so that kind of explains, even just the natural reverb that he's getting out of that place was phenomenal.
Yep.
And then someone told me that I know this video is going long, but when he opens the chair at the beginning and it goes clow like that's a metaphor or something. Maybe that's not the right word, but it's like speaking out to chairophobia.
Yeah.
Which is where you're scared of happiness.
Oh.
And so he's like, he makes that prevalent for that reason. I don't know. That's
I know
what they
he does
told me
a
in
lot
the
of that
comments.
stuff,
So
yeah.
I can believe it. He makes all these little
Oh.
nuances to catch on to and
That's
stuff.
why I said his songs are like onions. They have layers.
I love it. All right, guys. We're going to try and get another one in, so y'all be looking out for it. Peace out.